Well, hello folks, and welcome back to Arcanum. Last time we made our way to Caledon, talked to a bunch of people, found out where a book might be, the very book we're looking for. What do you have to trade? Do you have anything worthwhile? Any sweet cakes for me? No. And I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with this skull. Maybe I'll take it to the Phrenological Society in Toronto and see what they have to say about it. So that's where we came from. I'm pretty sure at this point I have explored almost all of town except for what is ever up there past the temple. For now, though, we're gonna leave. Pretty sure last time that guy said he wrote something, the location of Rosenborough or something like that on my map, and I am interested in going to check it out. Do you guys have like a slum area up here too? 3 Old Kings Way. Is anybody home? No? Another creepily abandoned house. 10 Old Kings Way. Oh, that's right, there is a murderer somewhere. I should look for at some point, maybe. Do you need something? Just have some questions. Is anything happening around here? Have you met Adam Maxwell? Rather a shady character, if you ask me. Okay. Do you know anything of Victor Misk? I want to call him Victor Musk, for some reason. Distant relative to Mr. Elon Musk, apparently. I'm gonna guess there's nothing in here for me. Unless I want to slaughter a whole bunch of farm animals. Plants I can't harvest or do anything with. The bane of my existence. 25 Old Kings Way. Hello, sir. Who are you? Well, I'm David Witt, owner of this here farm. And what do you grow? I don't actually grow anything. This is a fur farm, and I raise rabbits. My furs are considered the softest, finest quality pelts in all the land. You'll find my product in all sorts of finery. In the trim of a lady's ball gown, lining the inside of a gentleman's winter coat, even swaddling the newly born nobility. Wow, you must do quite well here. Yeah, I've done all right for my daughter and myself. At least I was. What do you mean, was? Something very strange has been happening lately. Every night, one of my rabbits is killed and partially devoured. The signs indicate a large beast of some sort, but no one else in the area is being bothered or has seen anything strange. If you're available, I'd really appreciate some help figuring it out. Okay, and how long has this been going on? The killings have been happening for nearly a full lunar turn. If things keep up at this rate, I'll be ruined within another 2. Rabbits breed quickly, but not that quickly. Okay, do you have a dog? Maybe it's a wolf that's doing it? What signs have you found? There aren't any wolves around for miles, and I don't own a dog. Tried that before. Too much trouble keeping them from scaring the rabbits. I never had one that ate them, though. Is there anyone else I can speak to? My daughter lives with me. You can talk to her if you'd like. She's been missing a lot of nights, though. Suspect she's sneaking out to see her betrothed. Ah, to be young again. Okay, I'll talk to her, since you don't have any other leads for me. Maybe I just need to go out here and wait until night. And ambush whatever it is. What can I do for you? Hello, can I ask your name? My name is Cynthia. Can I help you with something? Actually, what can you train me in? Healing? I'd like to talk to you about the rabbit slayings. Oh, it is awful. The poor things. Devoured at night by some horrible beast. And how do you know it's a horrible beast? Well, I don't know for certain. It is just that I have these nightmares about it every night. I dream some horrific beast attacks and devours one of my rabbits. And every morning I awaken to find it's true. Please, help us find what is doing this. Okay. Have you seen anything at all? Any signs? Has anybody said anything? Have you guys made anybody mad? Do you owe money anywhere? You don't work for the mob, do you?
Oh, no. Is that what my father told you? I was seeing my betrothed for a time, but I have been so exhausted lately. I've not been awakening to make our rendezvous.
Exhausted? But why?
Well, I'm very distressed by what is happening to my rabbits. As soon as the sun sets, I come to my room and fall into such a sound sleep, I do not awaken until it is morning. But I always awaken from the nightmare, and when I check on the rabbits, another has been killed.
It is very puzzling that no one has seen this supposed beast.
I've tried to stay awake and keep watch, but have been unable to. I pray you are successful in solving the mystery. I do not want my father to lose the farm.
Okay. Maybe we'll come back and deal with this later. That'd be 2 investigations. The hunt for the beast and find whoever is murdering people throughout town. Maybe it's the same thing. There's a beast all over Caledon. The Caledonian beast. The Caledonian devil. Widower's son. Of course I'm not healed up. I don't even worry about my health anymore, I guess. Nice try, Jaina. Nice try. Oh, you guys even found me all the way over here? Consider me shocked. Go away, mummy thing. I'm not actually shocked. Did I get ambushed by these guys while I was on the Isle of Despair? Bolo's altar. I'm a little bit more hesitant of dicking around with altars now that I know they curse you if you don't do it right. Rosenborough, huh? What do we got here? Hello, sir. Might I ask who you are? I'm the captain of the Roseborough Guard. What can I help you with? Nothing, I guess. At least at the moment. It's good to make your acquaintance. Another temple or castle? These castles are not as rare as I thought they would be. A freshly filled grave. Does anyone care if I dig these up? I'm gonna be a grave robber. Stealing skulls and stuff. Jaina, I'm not losing alignment over it. You don't hate me anymore, do you? Still 28. I keep watching that. Aha! Tsin Aang, horror among the dark elves. I was not expecting to find you in here. It's a shock. The glimmering forest. I dedicate this to my dearest raven. I would gladly face again those horrors and 1,000 others for only another moment with you. Dearest reader, it is only with the greatest fear and trepidation that I share this harrowing tale with you today. Even here, safe within the confines of my own home, I am still overcome with dread at the thought of what I am about to tell you, and what it might mean for me or those close to me. And yet, I feel compelled to do so, and the greater muse guides my pen to this paper, and the words flow forth from the darkest regions of my heart and mind, where they have stayed well hidden until this very evening. I beg of you, give ear to my confession, and, if it please you, take this tale from me, and return only your belief and trust that what you are about to hear is only and nothing but the truth. My name is Renford A. Terwilliger, born of the outlying regions of Ashbury, not far from the lair of Bellerogram, where they found the bones of the great dragon. My childhood was a bright one, full of happiness and light, and my parents gave to me all that a child might need. I was schooled both practically and excellently, and when my 18th year came round, I was accepted into Toronto University, and ultimately found my way into the Torontian Zoological Society. Archaeology was first love, but my first assignment with the society was with the Cultural Anthropology Department. It was somewhat of a farce, actually, but the society had been given an enormous grant by one of Toronto's leading philanthropists for a very specific purpose. That purpose was to confirm the existence of the Dark Elves. Every man, woman, and child in Arcanum has been raised on ghost stories and bedtime tales of these strange people known only as the Dark Elves. To the anthropologist, they are the proverbial oasis in the desert. Proof of their existence has always literally disappeared into the air. No man had ever set eyes upon them, and not one shred of physical evidence had ever been found to establish that they were real. Myths and legends were plentiful, but for the itinerant scientist, these mean less than nothing. What was needed was undeniable evidence, and I set out on this adventure with determination and confidence in my ability to bring forth just that. Had I known what lay ahead, I would have forsworn both anthropology and philanthropy and returned to work as a day laborer in the Ashbury shipyards. Better the back-breaking work than the nightmares I face every night. Before leaving Toronto, I enjoyed the services of a certain Jarin Banal, an elven tracker who was recommended to me by the noble Mr. Quentin Payne, famed explorer and gentleman in every sense of the word. Jarin Banal had been born in the Glimmering Forest, and it was said there wasn't a more knowledgeable man about the deep elven groves this side of the Stonewall Mountains. His fees were a little less than reasonable, but I had been given enormous liberty in spending the allotted funds, and it was my honest opinion that Mr. Banal was crucial to the success of the mission. I couldn't have been more correct. Within weeks we were well within the deepest and yet uncharted regions of the Western Glimmering, and never once did the unflappable Mr. Banal look to his compass or consult a map. Occasionally he would stand for a moment within a clearing or beneath a great tree, head cocked, eyes closed, but aside from these infrequent moments of meditation, it was all we could do to keep up with him. Upon the 42nd day of our journey, we came to a great meadow, seemingly alive with the multitude of birds and butterflies that flew above it. Crossing the fragrant and lively field was one of the most vivid experiences I'd experienced on the journey so far, and I was so enthralled by the scene around me that I almost missed the most spectacular vision given to the eyes of mortal man. Kintara, the great elven tree city, lay within the towering trees at the end of the clearing, hanging like a cut jewel in the crown of a king. The mother tree herself, almost 400 feet tall, housed the intricately carved Hall of Truth, which shone white and smooth in the noonday sun. Impossibly thin walkways wove in and out of the boughs of the great tree, not taking away from its natural beauty, but adding to it, as if the city were merely a convenient and beautiful tangle of leaves and branches, tattooed with the flowing runes and symbols in the ancient elven tongue. And among these, the graceful and lithe forms of the elves, singing their beautiful songs and looking down upon the ragtag group of men with curiosity and amusement. Of Kintara, I can only say this: the month I spent there was the best of my entire life. I learned much less about the Dark Elves than I would have liked. Almost nothing at all, really. But the moments I spent there were strange and wonderful and breathtaking, and I will not do them a disservice by attempting to put them into words. Suffice it to say that I learned there as a young man what often takes others a lifetime, and to my teacher I give heartfelt thanks and the warmest greetings. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think of you. We left the trees of Kintara with little more than faint whispers about the Dark Elves and where they might be found. The elves of Kintara were very reluctant to speak of them, and they begged us to forget such foolishness and to go home to Toronto. I, of course, would hear no such talk, and we traveled on, north this time, as Mr. Bernal believed he had uncovered a clue as to their whereabouts during his investigations while in Kintara. And he had discovered a name: Tsinang, the home of the Dark Elves. We traveled for 17 more days, exhausting our supplies and sending most of the party back to Tarant. The forest had become thicker and more brambly, and it seemed that many of the trees were adorned with thorns, some more than a foot long. Another week and it was only Mr. Bernal and myself, and we had agreed to return before the first of the month if we failed to find any further evidence of the Dark Elves' existence. That gave us 6 days to find Tsinang, and we pressed on despite our anxiety and fatigue. On the day before we had planned to return, the weather took a vicious turn. From out of the north came dark thunderheads, and lightning flew down from the sky like barbed lances of white fire. It began to rain, and we found an uneasy shelter beneath the massive roots of one of the great trees, which seemed poised over us like a giant and grotesquely gnarled hand. I was shivering and not altogether from the cold and rain. Weird shadows played against the trunks of trees as the storm strengthened and the lightning became more frequent. Thunder tore the sky above our heads. I looked at Mr. Bernal, and for the first time since we left Tarant, I saw fear reflected in his eyes. I can't say when I first became aware of them, but one moment while looking out through the rain, I began to notice shadows that stayed even after the lightning had subsided. Those shadows became phantoms. The phantoms, something worse. They were stock still, tall and wiry, ghostly faces the color of ivory, with eyes of the blackest night. Their hair hung in limp strands against their foreheads and cheeks, and they stood unblinking, oblivious to the storm and its ragings. But Al screamed something to my right, and then was pulled bodily from our shelter to the roots above. He screamed once more, and then was silent. I never heard from nor saw him again. I ran headlong past the elves in front of me, swinging blindly to clear a path. I was mad with fear, and my feet carried me deeper into the forest. I thought I heard dark and twisted laughter above and behind me, and shadowy figures darted among the trees to my left and right. Thorns tore at my arms and legs, and I stumbled among stones in the underbrush, screaming incoherently. More than once, great elven arrows sunk into the trees around me, grazing my skin as they flew by. They were playing with me, enjoying the hunt, waiting for just the right moment. My head was light from exhaustion and blood loss, and I fell to my knees, gasping for air. When I looked up, I saw it. There in the trees above me was Tsinang, the home of the Dark Elves. Unlike Kinchara, Tsinang was an abomination, slouched in the branches like a great beast waiting for its prey. There were sputtering fires all along its battlements, and great spikes protruding from every surface like dragon spines. And I saw robed figures, gaunt and terrible, lined along its walkways, and looking down upon me, beckoning. It seemed for me to join them. I screamed again, and the figures seemed to raise their voices in unison, a terrible call without sound or meaning, but I heard them nonetheless. They were cursing me. They were welcoming me. In moments I was surrounded again by my pursuers. Through the downpour I saw them unsheath daggers, their ghostish smiles floating towards me as the thunder roared above. I closed my eyes, praying to whatever God would hear me. There was nothing else I could do. And then, from nowhere, arrows were flying from behind me and above me. In moments I was encircled completely with the half-buried shafts of the thickest hunting arrows, and the dark elves around me whirled to and fro in confusion. One pulled his bow from his back and notched an arrow in one flowing movement, but was shot through the heart before he'd raised it past his shoulder. He fell silently, unbelieving. The others looked at me for a moment, the purest hatred harbored in their eyes, and then disappeared into the night, hands conspicuously at their sides. Amazed and spent, I fainted. I awoke some days later, many miles from northern reaches of the Glimmering. I was alone, but my wounds had been treated, and my supplies had been replenished. I was back in Toronto not 2 weeks later. I never met my rescuers, but I can guess who they were, and where they were from, and I thank them if they are reading this. Without their aid, I surely would have died there in the shadow of Tsinang. And so, dear friend, again I beg of you to believe these words and the man who has told them to you. I do so only to share this burden with others, to gain comfort among those of my kind. At the very least, let these words stand as a warning to you. Often, even as evil is a tangible thing, and sometimes it is a people and a place. Such are the dark elves, and such is the hell that is called their home. I have never returned to the Glimmering Forest, and I pray that I never do. Some things are better left alone. Horrible. Raven is not going to be happy about this. The Book in the Grave of Philip Misk is an actual copy of Horror Among the Dark Elves. Within it is a map which pinpoints the exact location. That was quite a story. I need to take this book back. I'm probably going to be making a beeline to that place instead of screwing around on this side of the continent. I don't know if I want to go mess with the Dark Elves now. They sound terrifying. What is this? Stonehenge? And nothing I can interact with. I half expect a bunch of halflings to just jump out and start asking me riddle questions. Just a smidge of color. Okay. It's a portal to the stars, Krugmar. You gotta use elven magic and we can get you to the moon where the cat people live. That's gonna be an expansion pack for Arcanum. I guess I maybe will finish checking out this town. Looks like it's just a basic farming town. Hello, ma'am. Can I ask you a question? Do you have any rumors for me? Rumor has it that there is a band of thieves hiding in the mountains near here. They were meant to have been involved in a robbery at the inn. Is that right? Okay. Band of thieves in the mountains. I haven't heard anything about thieves. What's your name, ma'am?
Oh, certainly. I'm Miss Morgan.
Can I have a moment of your time?
I'm in the midst of a small difficulty. I fear I do not have time for you, so please excuse my rude behavior.
I have a way of helping people with small difficulties, ma'am. She looks us over slowly.
You appear quite inexperienced. I'm afraid you would be of no use to me, although I do thank you for your concern.
Okay.
It's not a problem that you can fix by just cutting it in two, you big dumb oaf. I need somebody who's smooth. A skilled persuader or something.
Who are you, ma'am? Is anything happening here?
Have you met Jason C. Guy? He's been spending a tremendous amount of time studying the Ring of Brodgar. Quite an odd fellow.
Okay. Never even heard of that ring before. If it's an ancient artifact, it's not one that I have been privy to yet. The Roseboro Gift Shop. Oh, exactly. And what type of gifts do you sell? Not very good ones. Sweet cakes. I'm gonna end up killing Jaina and then just eating the sweet cakes in front of her dead body.
Can you believe it? Someone actually said they glimpsed a Laith wyvern roaming around the countryside north of town. What rubbish.
North side of town, huh? I wouldn't mind going and killing some more dragon kind. This is a noble's house. Creepy pictures. The north side of town, huh? Surely there wouldn't be a trail leading to this wyvern. This is not the north side of town. Even though there is an ominous low rumbling. Now that we're out here. Not nearly as loud as that portal we closed down, but almost as unsettling. Maybe that's just the world map music. The world map sound effect. You can now fast travel. No? I don't hear it over here. Gonna hunt it down with our ears. In fact, speaking of hunting things down, how about I save this video? That way when the game inevitably crashes or I get my ass kicked by something, I don't have to redo all of that. Yeah. It's only over in this area, though. That's very strange. It's almost like there's something under the ground there. Could it be the earth itself rumbling? I wish there was something I could interact with around here. A rock to flip over. Okay. Maybe I need to come out here at night. See what I can find. Ah, the blacksmith. Hello, sir. What type of armor do you sell over here? Of course, of course. About repair, of course, of course. Can't teach me anything. Iron, you sell garbage. Shady Sands, or whatever the hell the name of the Shrouded Hills. Sold better gear than that. Come on, Roseboro. I know you're not exactly Caledon or Tarrant. I've no desire to speak with you, dwarf. Look, sir, please, give me a moment of your time. What do you want, anyways? He looks around thoughtfully, then speaks to us, sarcasm dripping with every word. Does this look... Well, fuck you too. Hopes at least somebody else can read that. I'm not even gonna talk to him then. Jerk. I hope you've got a problem that will never get solved now. It's not like there's any other heroes gonna be coming through here, looking to do everyone's dirty work. A wyvern on the north side of town. A Lethe wyvern or something like that. I feel like maybe we've killed and fought one of those before, but I might be wrong. Also, this is not the way to find it. The last monster we had to track down was all the way back on the Isle of Despair, and it actually had tracks we could follow that I'm pretty sure I didn't find until we had already found the beast. Since I do these ridiculous search patterns of just running willy-nilly all over the place, hoping to get lucky and bump into something. So there's this. I'm gonna wait here until night. I want to see if anything happens here. Maybe they glow at night or something. They do not glow at night. What time is it? I need to wait 2 hours. See what happens, and then wait 2 more hours. Wait 1 hour. Maybe we'll be here right whenever it ticks over to midnight. It's almost the witching hour. 11:52. I thought those might be footprints for a second. They most assuredly are not. And I'm This won't be anything. Nothing is going to happen here. But you never know. I can sense a lot of magical power in here for some reason, despite the fact I have no magical ability. And really, why else would this be here? It's got a path leading up to it. Intricate runes, or something. The whole damn thing screams elven, despite the fact that it's stone and not wood. Doesn't look like something a dwarf would make. It's far too crude for dwarven work. And it's midnight and nothing happened. Had to try. Had to at least try. I think I'm probably going to end the video here, and whenever we come back, might just go straight to Caledon. Because I'm guessing I can't get across up here. Maybe I should run up here and check this out. There's got to be a better way than going to Caledon, going to Ashbury, running my ass all the way through the pass and back to Kintara. Do a little bit of exploring on the world map and see what we can find.